Welcome, beautiful soul. Welcome to this first stage one called Soul Recognition of a mini series that I have created to help those that are going through the twin flame awakening path and just to help you come into a little bit more clarity on what's playing out for you. So, these set of videos I've created for my YouTube channel. If you would like to deep dive further into this, this is where I have lots of resources, support tools, I have courses, everything that you can deep dive into. But this is to at least help you start to see and resonate that one, you're not alone on this journey. I have walked this path and I walk it every day. And although at the moment, if you're listening to this, you're probably in a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, and you're wondering what the heck's going on, I want to reassure you that your soul is taking you on a beautiful journey. You've literally met your own vibration in another body, and that's why it's so deeply, deeply profound. So at the soul recognition space, this is when twins typically they come into the physical and meet. Now, at this point, you may have been in a long-term relationship with your twin. They may have been in your family dynamics. They could be someone in your group of friends. It could be someone at work. It could be a complete and utter random stranger. Anything flies around here. But the point being is that when the soul is ready, it's going to recognize itself in this other body. And this is when everything starts to amplify and everything starts to shift. You are having an absolute, immediate, energetic activation. That's the best way to put it. And everything in your life is about to change. Once you've been activated at a soul level, your life will never, ever be the same. And as someone that's been, given birth to children, you think that, bringing children into this world is where that life changes, or I don't know, you get married or just anything, right? But no, this is it. This is the moment when everything literally turns your whole entire world upside down. It is very tumultuous, chaotic, but you are going through something that's incredibly beautiful, and your soul is taking you on a path so that you can come into alignment with your true self. This does include the other body. I want to get clear here that both bodies have been activated. Both have had soul recognition. However, the way we walk this journey will be different. And the biggest message that I want to get across here is that you have to allow this process to unfold organically. And the more you can do that, the better. That's why I've created these videos or these presentations so that I can help people, just take some of the load off you and know that you're not doing this alone. There are many before you that have had this soul recognition and have come into beautiful union, and just their lives are incredible. And it is a stunning journey, but there's got to be a path that needs to be walked first. So let's get into this a little bit deeper. We're going to deep dive a bit further into this soul recognition stage. Now, what I've done here is I've created 7 separate videos, but within each of these, right, there's a stage 1, and then I've created phases that happen within that stage 1. Now, these phases, it's not a linear thing. They'll all be happening all at the same time. And even these 7 stages, you'll dip in and out and go back to 1, and then you'll move forward, and nothing's linear on this journey. However, there is definitely a path that's happening, and everyone walks this path. How you walk it is going to be different because your soul's blueprint is unique to you and your physical twin. So you have this instant recognition. The soul is now recognizing its own vibration, and this is why you'll have things like that voice recognition, the eyes. I mean, that just blows you up, doesn't it? Your sense of smell might shift as well here. Your whole chakra system is getting activated, particularly in the heart. You're going to have this massive heart activation, and you will feel this heart palpitation. Your kundalini energy is now being activated, which I don't really deep dive to in here. I talk really deeply in the Ascension to Union Masterclass on that. But you're going to have all these energies are just so activated. And it's like there's this magnetic pull toward this person, and you don't even know why, but you just know that they are the one. You just know. There's a sense of timelessness. This connection feels deeply, deeply ancient, and you just know without knowing, but you can't explain why you know. At this point in time, your divine union template has awakened and it's now going to guide you. And there's people like me, I knew straight away, once I knew I was on this journey, I knew I was going to be coaching. It's very much in my divine blueprint. And this is why I'm here. So there's people along the journey that you are going to resonate with, and that is beautiful. You resonate with them for as long as you need to, because what you're learning here is you're learning you're an energetic being, and that's why the energy gets so incredibly activated. But what you're going to learn is that everything is about energetic resonance. And that is why you will resonate with some messages and some not. And it's always about discernment, and it's about trusting. Am I in resonance, or is my energy feeling a little off? So you're feeling calm listening to this. Is this sort of resonating with you? Is it sinking in with your soul? Or is it like, not gelling with this message? This is where the discernment comes in. So you've had a beautiful, beautiful instant recognition. Trust that this is the one. This is, this is about your soul. Ultimately, it's about your soul wanting to ascend out of the 3D paradigm. And I don't mean the physical world. What I mean is it's consciousness. It's our state of consciousness on this planet in form. And again, I deep dive into that through the Union Code or the Ascension to Union Masterclass. But the 3D is a state of consciousness. When you've met your twin, you are going straight up into the 5D consciousness, which is out of all the programming, out of all the duality. And you may not even fully resonate with what I'm talking about here, but don't worry, you will as you move along the path. But you've literally come into the true self. When you meet them, you come into the true self. And I talk about that in the next video, which is the stage 2 one, where I talk about that oneness feeling a lot more. But this first part here is that, when you have that soul recognition, you start to speak from your heart. And this stage often brings people to tears. It's the most euphoric feeling. You have this familiar and undeniable connection. And even though it's brief at this point in time, it is something that's not of this physical world. And at a soul level, you know it, but your mind is trying to put some logic to it, and you cannot put any logic. You may start having, because in this stage 1, you're still pretty much in contact with the twin at this point, and you might start having some random astral experiences. You're going to start feeling energy sensations. You may even be experiencing this before you've met them in the physical. That is very, very common. This is the moment that's all been initiated by the soul, and it's a soul remembering, and it cannot be reversed. The soul is ready to ascend, and for it to ascend, it needs its counterpart to show the parts that are distorted in the soul's energy that it's been collecting after lifetimes of reincarnation. And it's time for it to come out of this 3D programming and bring a different level of consciousness onto this planet. And so we need to meet this other body. I know it is painful at the start of this journey. However, there is for the greater good, and everything that's happening is happening in your highest good. So I just want to encourage everybody to trust what you are feeling. Trust that knowing, even if the mind tries to deny it later, and it will. It's the number one sign. Doubt, doubt, doubt. But know that this is true. It's the most truest experience you will ever, ever go through. And yeah, the key here is just to keep trusting what you're feeling in your body, trust that knowing, even though the physical world looks like something quite different that's playing out. I want you to tune inwards and just keep trusting that your soul has had recognition, and it's now time for the soul to go through its purification process, and come into another, you're going to, as the physical body experiencing this, you're going to come into a place where your life is going to transform in the most incredible ways. So I hope you found this helpful, and please look out for stage 2 and have a good listen to that. And I will see you in the next presentation.